Hold up. Wait a minute. If people rob and steal at a business, common sense tells me eventually that business is gonna close. Friends, in today's conversations, we're going to be moving into a new plateau, a new area. We've talked about Chicago over and over and over again, about the drive-bys, the killings, the shootings, the robbery, the smash and grabs, all that. We've talked about New York City and how bad it is there with the illegal. Same thing in Chicago. You know, crime is out of control. I mean, it's crazy. But today we've moved on to a new location with a new mayor. And that mayor is Mayor Wu. Can you say that with me, friends? Mayor Wu. And she is an affirmative action. Well, could you say affirmative action if they ain't black? Maybe not affirmative action, higher. But she's got the infinity stones. She's woman and she's Asian. And she's Democrat and progressive, and so therefore she's all good. She's made history, y'all. She's a history-making mayor, and just like the rest of the failing mayors around different cities, we're going to now talk about the failings of the mayor, and particular in reference to crime and how bad it is, and why businesses are closing up. And these businesses are very, very critical because, again, they are in the black, and as they like to say, the black and brown community. It's in the black and brown community, and so therefore it's bad. So Walgreens has closed up several shops, baby. They have closed up several of their stores, their pharmacies in these black and brown neighborhoods because the people are robbing them blind. And they can't make a penny. They can't make $1 out of 15 cents. They can't make $1 out of 15 cents. So friends, they pulled out. About 4 Walgreens have now closed in this particular black and brown community. And so the community is outraged. And so that's what we're going to look at today, because I find it kind of hypocritical when Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley of where was she? She's Boston, Massachusetts. When she's on the House floor calling out Walgreens, she's calling them out. But she fails to mention that she, lawmaker, who is all about defunding the police and making these laws that you can't arrest people when they rob people, and you can't arrest people when they rob Walgreens. And so therefore she's on the House floor making a spectacle of herself, calling out Walgreens, standing for the people, standing for the people, standing for the people. But yet, friend, Uticas of the people's Walgreens closing because of your progressive policies. But she ain't got nothing to say about that. But she wants to call out Walgreens for closing. Now, let's take a look of Miss Ayanna Pressley in her talks to the House floor about Walgreens. But yet, you're the lawmaker. Why aren't you arresting people? Hello, friends, and welcome to The Conservative Poet. I am Amania, and I want to say thank you to all of the new subscribers. We got a whole lot of people that hit that subscribe button, and I want to say thank you for doing that, because I will surely work hard to entertain you, to bring you information, and just to be the fighter out here in the streets for you. So thank you for subscribing. God bless you and God keep you.
Speaker, Walgreens is planning to close yet another pharmacy in the Massachusetts 7th, this time on Warren Street in Roxbury, a community that is 85% Black and Latino. This closure is a part of a larger trend of abandoning low-income communities like the previous closures in Mattapan and Hyde Park, both in the Massachusetts 7th. When a Walgreens leaves a neighborhood, they disrupt the entire community, and they take with them baby formula, diapers, asthma inhalers, life-saving medications, and of course, jobs. These closures are not arbitrary and they are not innocent. They are life-threatening acts of racial and economic discrimination. That is why I joined with Senator Markey and Warren to demand answers from Walgreens CEO. Why was there no community input, no adequate notice to customers, and no transition resources to prevent gaps in healthcare? Shame on you, Walgreens. Having a website with talking points about health equity and underserved communities is not enough. Walgreens is a multi-billion-dollar corporation that needs to put their money where their mouth is and stop divesting from Black and brown communities.
Seen that, heard that, good. Well, Miss Pressley wants to boo-hoo, whine, bitch and complain about Walgreens closing and calling on to the CEO to make transitions in place for the people. But Miss Pressley, this is a business. You do understand what business means. And I get it that they are a crucial business that the Black and brown community really needs. But ma'am, have you asked why are they closing? Have you asked the CEO, Mr. CEO of Walgreens, Mr. CEO of Rite Aid, Mr. CEO of whatever pharmacy, why are you closing businesses in the Black and brown community? Well, I would assume that the CEO would say, well, Miss Congresswoman, Miss Lawmaker, the laws that you have on the books prevents us from making any money because we are literally being robbed out of business. We are literally being robbed out of business by the Black and brown community that we serve, that we are here to help. This is why, Miss Lawmaker, Miss Ayanna Pressley, we are leaving the Black and brown community is because they are robbing us blind. Again, Miss Pressley, Lawmaker, if you and your colleagues, your Democrat partners, that is, and across all of these cities that people, the community, are losing these benefits, if you would make laws, put laws on the books that says if you get caught stealing, I don't know, a pack of toothpaste, you're getting robbed, you're getting arrested, right? If you get stealing a toothpick, you're getting arrested and you're going to jail. So they would think twice about robbing, in full force the way they do. If you started locking up these criminals, these Black and browns in the Black and brown community, if you started locking up these criminals, guess what? The Walgreens in your community, the one you're boo-hoo whining and crying and bitching and complaining about closing, the fourth one that's closing right now in your community, well, it's probably not your community, but it's where your constituents lives, because we know you probably don't live there, because that's the Black and brown community. You's high class. You live somewhere else. You live in a different neighborhood, but you represent them in that here Black and brown community. I'm not sure, but I'm sure she don't live in the hood. I'm sure she don't live in the hood. No, we too high class for the hood. But any event, if you and your Democrat partners would enforce laws, make laws, create laws, then Walgreens and all of these other businesses would stay open, and they would be what? They would be here as a resource for the community. They would be here as a place for the people to get their Pampers, place for the people to get their formula, a place for the people to get their insulin shots, a place for the people to get their needle prickings, a place for the people to get whatever the hell it is that they need. Because the stores would be open and they can go in, buy, pay. It's an exchange, right? You walk into a store, you say, I want this. You take it to the counter, you pay for it, and then you leave with it. And then they have more money to go and buy more from suppliers to replenish. That's how the business thing works, right? That's how it works. So if people walk in, fill up a cart, and walk out and not pay, and then you expect the business to still call up the suppliers and replenish that, come on, man, there's a missing element here, because they haven't made any money off of that cart that left full without any payments, right? You follow? You feeling what I'm laying down, Miss Ayanna Pressley? Are you getting what I'm laying down? There's a disconnect. If the people are walking out with carts full of stuff, and then Walgreens has to call China or wherever they get their stuff from. I'll digress from China. Y'all know I have issues. So they have to call up their supplier and say, I needs more products. I needs more this. I needs more that. And then they bring in more, and then more carts come in full, pack it up, and walk out without paying. It's insanity for anybody to continue to do business in this community, because it's insanity. I'm surprised they haven't left. And another thing with all of this, when are these black and browns going to wake up and say, you know what, we are literally doing ourselves a disservice? We are doing ourselves a disservice, because when the Walgreens closed, the one she talked about, on wherever area that one closed, when the first one closed, those people had to figure out, well, I had to go somewhere else. Even those people that's robbing them, at some point, you've got to say, you know what? I'm really hurting our community. I know I'm going to go out there and peddle it on the streets to the people. Well, I guess that's what they do. They rob and steal them, and then they go and peddle it out to the community in your own carts, right? And so it's not being addressed. And it's all across the country. If these people would wake up and say, you know, I'm really doing myself, my community a disservice, I really need to stop it. Because once you've sold it all, you got to go back to Walgreens and get more. Guess what? They closed, man. They closed. Hello, fellow patriots. Thank you so much for your support. And again, you can do so by purchasing products from the Orlando Patriots, mugs, t-shirts, all of your patriotic gear. We are in an election year, so we need to show the world that we support our candidates, especially President Trump. So get some gear at theorlandopatriot.com and you'll get 30% off. Thank you for your support. It means the world to me.